You walk into the kitchen, stand there for about 10 seconds, and have absolutely no idea why you came in here. What if I told you that an herb sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now, the one you sprinkle on roasted potatoes, has actually been scientifically studied for its ability to protect your brain? And what if I told you traditional Chinese medicine has known about this for over 1,000 years? Today, we're talking about rosemary. But not the way you've heard before. Stick around because I'm also sharing 2 other secret weapon herbs that, when paired with rosemary, create the ultimate trio for brain protection, including one that research suggests acts like fertilizer for your brain cells. Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome to OmniHealthy, your home for practical health solutions. If you find this kind of content helpful, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It really supports the channel and keeps these health tips coming your way. Before we dive in, always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your diet or lifestyle. My goal here is to share research and natural health insights. You decide what fits your wellness journey. So, here's what's fascinating. Rosemary contains a compound called carnosic acid, and research published in the Journal of Neurochemistry suggests this compound may help protect brain cells from oxidative damage. Think of oxidative stress like rust on a car. Over time, it just wears things down. Your brain is especially vulnerable to this kind of damage as you age. Studies from the Burnham Institute for Medical Research found that carnosic acid activates a pathway that helps defend brain cells against free radical damage. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. A study from Northumbria University in the UK found that simply smelling rosemary essential oil significantly improved people's ability to remember to complete everyday tasks. In one study, participants who smelled it performed as much as 60 to 75% better than those who didn't. That's not a supplement. That's not an extract. That's just the aroma. Picture your brain cells getting a tiny anti-rust coating every time you reach for the rosemary. Not exactly a superhero cape, but we'll take it. Alright, let's go back in time for a second. In traditional Chinese medicine, rosemary, known as mi di xiang, has been used for centuries to move qi and invigorate the blood. Now if you're new to TCM, here's what that means in plain English. Your brain needs strong blood circulation to function well. When circulation is sluggish, your thinking gets sluggish. This is what TCM calls blood stagnation, and rosemary is considered one of the best herbs for getting things moving again. Specifically, rosemary is said to enter the heart and liver meridians. The heart in TCM houses what we call the Shen, your spirit, your consciousness, your clarity of mind. When the heart meridian is supported, mental clarity follows. This isn't mystical thinking. It aligns beautifully with what modern science tells us about cerebral blood flow and cognitive function. It's kind of wild when 2 completely different systems of medicine, separated by 1,000 years and an ocean, look at the same plant and go, yep, that's the one. Let's see exactly how that works. Now, let me connect this to something your doctor would actually recognize. When researchers talk about age-related cognitive decline, one of the biggest factors they point to is reduced cerebral blood flow. Your brain is only about 2% of your body weight, but it demands roughly 20% of your blood supply. That's a massive energy appetite. As we get older, the tiny blood vessels in our brain, called microvasculature, can become less efficient at delivering oxygen and nutrients. This is exactly what TCM practitioners have been describing for centuries when they talk about blood stagnation. The beauty of rosemary is that it appears to work on both levels, the modern biochemical level through carnosic acid, and the circulatory level by supporting healthy blood flow. That's why this herb isn't just a brain supplement, it's a full system approach to mental clarity. Think of carnosic acid like the bouncer at the club of your brain cells, only letting the good stuff in and keeping the troublemakers out. This bouncer's been on shift for 1,000 years and still hasn't taken a break. You know that maddening feeling when a word is right there on the tip of your tongue? You know it starts with an R, you can picture the thing, but the word just won't come out. That's your brain's retrieval system having a little hiccup. And ironically, the word you're searching for might just be the solution sitting in your spice rack. Speaking of which, here's exactly how to use rosemary for your brain. Here's the approach I always recommend: food first, supplements optional. Rosemary is incredibly easy to work into your daily meals. A teaspoon of fresh rosemary, roughly 1 to 2 grams, added to your cooking 3 to 4 times a week is a solid starting point. You can infuse olive oil with rosemary sprigs. Just warm it gently, don't fry it, and drizzle that over salads or roasted vegetables. Rosemary tea is another excellent option. Steep 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary in hot water for about 10 minutes. The aroma alone is therapeutic. Now, if you're going the supplement route, rosemary extract standardized to contain at least 6% carnosic acid is what the studies typically use. But again, food first. Your body recognizes food. It knows what to do with it. And let's talk about aromatherapy, because the research here is genuinely compelling. Remember that Northumbria University study I mentioned? The one where just smelling rosemary helped people remember to complete far more of their daily tasks. Here's the practical takeaway. You can put a few drops of rosemary essential oil in a diffuser while you're working or reading. If you don't have a diffuser, place 2 or 3 drops on a cotton ball and set it nearby. Some people even put a drop on their collar or a tissue tucked near their workspace. The key compound here is 1,8-cineol. That's the main active component in rosemary oil. And research has shown that higher blood levels of 1,8-cineol after exposure correlate directly with better cognitive performance. Just make sure you're using high-quality, pure essential oil, not fragrance oil. And never ingest essential oils unless you're working with a qualified practitioner. Enjoying this video? Hit that like button. It's free, takes half a second, and helps more people discover these helpful tips. Also, share it with friends who need this. Don't forget to click more in the description for product links and study sources we mention. All right, let's keep going. Now, rosemary is powerful on its own, but there are 2 other herbs that work beautifully alongside it for a complete brain protection strategy. The first is ginkgo biloba. You've probably heard of this one. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease, the research was conducted in 2014 and published in 2015, found that ginkgo extract, specifically EGB 761 at 240 milligrams daily, may help stabilize cognitive decline in older adults. In TCM, ginkgo, called baiguo, supports the lungs and helps move qi downward. Think of it as grounding your mental energy. Okay, ginkgo gets all the attention, but the next one? Almost nobody's heard of it. And honestly, that's a bit of a crime. Let's fix that. The second herb is polygala root, or UNG in Chinese. This is the hidden gem. In TCM, polygala root is specifically used for calming the spirit and opening the orifices of the heart. It's traditionally used for memory and mental clarity. Polygala has been a staple of Chinese herbal medicine for over 2,000 years. It's mentioned in the Shenong Bencao Jing, one of the oldest Chinese medical texts. Traditionally, it's prescribed for what TCM calls heart orifice obstruction with phlegm, which in modern terms means mental fog, poor memory, and difficulty concentrating. In modern science, this is attributed to compounds like polygalasaponins and tenuifilin, which target BDNF, a protein that acts like fertilizer for your neurons. According to research in the journal Evidence-Based Complementary and Alternative Medicine, this process fuels neuroplasticity, your brain's vital ability to form new connections and repair old ones as you age. This makes it the final piece of our cognitive trio. Rosemary protects your brain cells, ginkgo supports circulation, and polygala ensures your brain stays adaptable. Keep in mind that 240 milligram dose mentioned in the studies is a standardized extract, so think of ginkgo and polygala as specialized herbal allies you explore alongside your food-first rosemary routine, not a replacement for it. Let me give you a simple recipe you can make at home. I call this the Rosemary Memory Tonic. You'll need 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary, half a teaspoon of dried ginkgo biloba leaf, or 1 ginkgo tea bag, and a teaspoon of raw honey to taste. Combine the rosemary and ginkgo in a cup, pour boiling water over them, and steep covered for 10 to 15 minutes. Wait until the tea has cooled to a warm, drinkable temperature. This protects the delicate enzymes in the honey. Then stir in your raw honey. 3 ingredients, 1 pour, done. If you want to take it further, and you already have polygala root on hand, simmer a 1/4 teaspoon separately for about 10 minutes and stir it into your cup at the end. But that's a bonus step for the curious, not a requirement. Drink this once a day, ideally in the morning or early afternoon. The aroma alone will wake up your senses, and over time, the compounds go to work supporting your brain health. This isn't a quick fix, it's a daily ritual. Consistency is everything. Want more health tips like this? Hit subscribe and the bell so you never miss out. Check out my other videos on superfoods, vitamins and natural remedies. Tons of research-backed content waiting for you. Remember, your health is your wealth. Stay healthy, stay vibrant, stay OmniHealthy.